Hello everyone! For today's English class, we will be reading the story Robinson Crusoe Discovers a Footprint from Unit 3 of your Marigold textbook. If you have your textbook, please open your book and turn over to page 47. Robinson Crusoe Discovers a Footprint. The story starts in page 48. Robinson Crusoe's ship had been destroyed by the sea. He had been alone for many years and longed for company. One day, he discovers a footprint on the sand. Let's find out what he did then. Robinson Crusoe chantin hi chen khat chuan kan lo hre tawh mai theia ma se hemi thon thu bi ka hian Robinson Crusoe hi along chuan na kha tuilen khan ati chhia ta chuan kum tam tak ama in island a hian in a oma Chantu ma kom tur nei lo khan ko har takin om thin ani ni khat chu he tilaya lui kama khanin kehniak hi amuta a chu engtin nge akal pui chunjom engtin nge kehniak a mu nuwa khan om chunjom zel kan lo chiar don ni. Let's read. One day when I was going towards my boat, I was surprised to see the footprint of a man on the sand. I stood amazed. I listened. I looked around me. I could neither hear nor see anything. I went up higher to look down. I went up to the shore and down the shore, but it was no good. I could find no other footprint but that one. I went to it again to see if there were any more footprints and to tell if it had been my imagination. But I was not mistaken, for there was exactly the print of a foot. Toes, heel, every part of a foot. I could not imagine how it came there. Tu khatsu Robinson Crusoe hi along lampang pan khani nakalani ta chuanin makati mea he tilai along da na bula khanin kehniak alo omani chu kehniak khalo oma makhati mema ngo ringin angai thla a hoi kwala ma se eng ma muin a she thei box si lovani ti chuanin khita tlang sanga te khana chawa a hoi kwala eng ma mu box si lovani ti chuanin he ta achuk le lui kama te khan avate kwal le eng ma mu chuang lovani kehniak dang khatlai along bulami kehniak ti lo khachu adang kha khoila ya ma a mu chuang lova makati mema aswang to ana meyemo te kha ti hialani ma se a han en chiang le kehniak ani ti mishing kehniak nge ani ti kha chiang mani ake zung tang ake artui engkim kha akim diam mesia mishing kehniak ani nge ani ti kha chiang ni. I stayed a long time thinking but became more and more confused. At last I returned home very frightened, looking behind me after every 2 or 3 steps, mistaking every bush and tree to be a man. Reideu ta khanina oma angai to vong vonga ma se ari rukha boy tial me ni topa chuanin hole leta a hlaw mema a hopa khanin kepe ni khat leka khanin hoi kwal zek meya he tilaya nimbuk amo thingkung amo omkha tuemo mishing tura khana ngai zela a hlaw thong ta fekani chu. When I came to my cave, which I called my castle, I ran inside it as if I was being chased. I do not remember whether I used the ladder or went in by the hole in the rock which I called the door. I ran for cover faster than any animal could run. Tichuanin ama castle tia ako me chin kha atlen khanin rang mai khanin chunga tlan lutani tumanin ama an ang mei khanin atlan luta alu dan pokha she tolowani leilonin alut nge lunga ko om pakhat akongka ati mei khatang khana lut nge lut lo po she tolowani manmo teu khanin atlana abirua ransa ai pokhan atlan chakani ta khachuanin ahlaw lutukha. I did not sleep that night. The more I thought about what I had seen, the more afraid I became. I thought it could be one of the savages of the mainland who had wandered out to the sea in a small boat. Kamizan kha chu Robinson kha amumia lovani. Angai tua ahlau tial maya. Savage ho, shing a ho, mainland. Atrangaron kal, longaron kal ani nge yang ti khana lau ta ni chu. Shing a chu ni sing chun an lau nge yang tiro. Luckily, I was not on shore at that time, but what if he had seen my boat? If he had seen the boat, he would have realized that someone lived on the island and would soon return with others to kill and eat me. Khati hun lai khanin lui ka ma khan ka omlo hlo meya ka vane ni ma se ka long kha mu nge om sia ka long kha mu kha chuanin tu moni an om ti kha shedona midang ho avashwayanga keima miron zonganga miron e turin an ron kal le nge yang a ti kha angai toa a laut ani. And so I lay fearful for many days and prayed for protection. In doing so, I was much comforted and began going out to investigate. But even now, as I went forward, I looked behind me frequently because I was still very frightened. Tichuanin ni tam takchu alaw ta atomani atong traya ven him na tekha adil china ni pathian ne na khan khatia pathian ne na ompui na le ven him na handil khanin tlem chona thla kha mawang ve de china chuanin topa chuanin thil wazir chiang tur khan ve investigate tur khanin achuak ta ni ma se achwa po khanin ala hlau ru reng meya ahoi kwal zeka abul nai vela thil tekha achika a en kwalin azir chiang zelani a chanchu ruk te in ala hlau reng ani khatia pathian ompuina leven himna dil nu po khanin. However, as I went about for 2 or 3 days and saw nothing, I became a little bolder. I decided to go down to the shore again and examine the footprint once more. I decided to measure it with my own footmark. Tichuanin ni thum vel kha engma mu tak lowa chuanin tlemin lo hwai sen ve deuta chuan he tilai a kehniak amu na mun lui kama khan zuk chuka kehniak kha zuk zir chian le kha atum ta ni ama kenen kha kehniak kha ate donani. As I came closer to the footprint, I realized that it could not be my footprint because I had not come to this part of the beach since a long time. Secondly, as I placed my foot alongside the footprint, it seemed larger than my own. Tichuan kha kehniak kha ahan nai ta ka khanin angai to ta vonga ai she chwaka kha kehniak kha ama kehniak chu ni thelawang atita ngatinge khatilai muna khan lui kama khan rei tak achuk to lo ti kha in she chwaka tichuan chu mai ba ka kha kehniak kha ama ke nen khan ahan te khanin ama ke ai khanin a kehniak kha alian te sok ta ni chu. My fear returned. I went home again, believing that there was someone there. The island was inhabited. Tichuan a hlau thong le ta mani a holea tuimo dang an omve ti kha a she chhuak le a tichuanin a hlau thok ta mani ama chawin khatilai muna kha na omo kha ti charchara ma se mi dang an lo omve reng ti kha amu chhuak ani. The story is adapted from Daniel Defoe's Robinson Crusoe. He thon thu hi Daniel Defoe zia Robinson Crusoe ti changa lak chwa ani a he thon thu hi azawaya apuma chher the tan chuanin lo chher ve chinula angai nom ani ngai nom in ti o a thon thu hi a toy ma se he thon thu toy te chang hianin thil zir chwa kan nei ti ro Robinson Crusoe kha kehniak amu khanin atira chon a hlau thong ma ti ro a hlau thong ma shing anon kalta mo tia khatilai muna khanin abirua ni tam taka hlawa atomani ma se engin nge ama khati chak le kha a chong chaya ti chuanin ven him na te pathian ompui na te kha dila kha na sa takin thamwan na kha pe ti chuanin ama kha awa chuak ngam le ta ni khatiro tiang khanin ke ni po chang chuan enge mo hlau chang te kan lo nei chin tiro hetia thil kan han hlau chang te enge mo kan ril ro buai chang te hianin ke ni po Robinson Crusoe tiang deuh hianin trong trai tai la ti chuanin kan thla te po lo mang sot mai thei ni tiro huai sen na te po kan lo nei pha mai thei ni ole kha thon thu ina min zir tir tum chu nia thon thu kha toin a fel ma voi khat in lo char chhuak le don ne o nang mani in char zoa page 51 ami new words kha in lo char lenga hi in lo by heart don ne o kan chiaranga in lo char ve don nya new words savages wild people in primitive state mainland large continuous extent of land wandered go from place to place without a definite route bolder more confident inhabited occupied dwelled in khang words how zia chunya in lo zir ve don nya ole anwaya let's read question hi 1 atanga 3 thleng hi chu keman kalo thon anga grupa khanin in lo enanga ti chuan in lo copy chhuak don nya o hei hi a note hi in copy chhuak zoa in lo submit le don nya ti chuan number 4 choose the correct answer 1 2 chuan page 52 mi 3 le 4 na hi nang manin in lo chang chinanga hei po hi a answer dik nakina kalo share le don cheu ne o ole kha zong kha vo in kan lesson kan zir tur chu ninga a thon thu Robinson Crusoe thon thu kha angai nom ma voi khatin lo char chhuak lenga chumi zoa new words kha in lo chiar angai lo by heart lenga chuan notes kalo thon in lo copy bokanga lekha bu mi homework tlem te kha in lo ti bok don nya khang note te le homework te kha in ti zo hunai lo submit bok don nya o ole thank you for listening to today's lesson.